What is up, guys? It is Mike Man WBA here, back with the second week of TWF fixtures. We have a Division 1 first off, as always, and we're going to kick straight in. And in our opening match, we have the Hall of Famers Batista, Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio versus Tranquillo, Andrade, Cien Almas, Rush and Tetsuya Naito. And it is the Hall of Famers picking up their first win of the tournament, defeating Tranquillo when Batista defeats Andrade Cien Almas by pinfall with the Batista Bomb. Randy Orton and Naito both getting 54s, Almas getting a 53, Mysterio and Batista 35s and Rush a 37. No work improvements for that one, and one of our better matches so far with a 51D+. In the second match, we have British Strong Style versus What the Rocks Are Cooking, and it is the team of Jonah Rock, Rockstar Spud and Rocky Romero that pick up the win against Pete Dunne, Trent Seven and Tyler Bate, when Rockstar Spud, the fellow British competitor, pins Pete Dunne after a Tilt-A-Whirl DDT. Trent, unfortunately, the weak link with a 31. Pete Dunne getting a 40, Tyler Bate a 42, Jonah Rock getting a 40 as well, Rockstar Spud a 47 and Rocky Romero a 48. Rocky Romero and Jonah Rock both improving their performance skills though, which is always nice to see. Next up we have Chaos versus Team ROH, and somehow this match got a 0 rating. I'm not sure how that happened. That has got to be a bug, because Toriano got an in-ring performance of 43, Ishii a 46, Okada a 54, Jay Lethal a 49, Colt Cabana a 37, and Christopher Daniels a 53. And it is Team ROH that defeated Chaos in this one, with Colt Cabana pinning Okada with a Colt 45. Next up, and back to proper ratings, we have the European lads versus the Job Squad, and it is Cesaro, Rusev and Sheamus defeating Hawkins, Rawley and Ryder in 15 minutes and 23, when Cesaro defeated Mojo after a neutralizer. Sheamus got a 48, Rusev a 45, Cesaro a 52, Ryder a 30, Rawley a 33 and Hawkins a 35, with no worker improvements on that one. Next up, we have the White Russians versus Vanity, and it is the White Russians that pick up the win. Ilya Dragunov, Jay White and Leo Rush defeating David Starr, Donovan Dijak and Ethan Page, when Dragunov pinned Starr with the move that I'm not going to try and pronounce, but I'm pretty sure it's like the Moscow Torpedo. Ethan Page and Donovan Dijak are both getting 33s, David Starr getting a 34, Leo Rush a 37, Jay White a 35 and Ilya a 28. Starr though improving in his flying skills and Ethan Page in his technical skills. Following that we have the Shield versus Ringkampf, and it is Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins that defeat Ringkampf, Axel Dieter Jr., Timothy Thatcher and Volta, when Rollins defeated Thatcher by pinfall with a pedigree. Volta getting a 31, Thatcher getting a 32, Dieter Jr. a 42 despite being off his game. Rollins got a 53, Reigns a 46 and Ambrose a 47. Volta improving in his Rumble skills though. Following that we have Aussie Open and Shut versus Space Cakes, and it is Matt Riddle, Matt Sydal and Space Monkey that pick up the win against Brooks, Fletcher and Davis, when Riddle defeats Davis by submission with the guillotine choke. Davis getting a 32, Fletcher a 31 and Brooks a 36, with Space Monkey getting a 37, Sydal a 48 and Riddle a 44, and Fletcher improving in his technical skills in that one. And then we have the main event of Division 1, where the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly defeat Leaders 2000, Marty Scurll, Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. in 14:49, when Adam Cole defeats Scurll by pinfall after a flying crossbody. Sabre Jr. getting a 47, Osprey a 48 and Skirl a 41, while Kyle O'Reilly got a 40, Fish a 37 and Cole a 39. Osprey improving his performance skills in that one. As we end that show with a 48D+, actually, with the opening match between the Hall of Famers and Tranquillo getting the highest match rating. Sorry, no, that's a lie. We have actually got a rating now for Ring of Honor versus Chaos, with that match getting a 52. I don't know why it bugged out and showed a 0 in the match screen. Must be a little bug in TEW there. But I will see you guys in just a second, where I will have the Division 2 results. So hold tight for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back with Division 2. So all the matches are booked. We're going to get straight into it. And we start off with the scarier than men women's team of Killer Kelly, Millie McKenzie and Toni Storm up against the Bella Busters of Daniel Bryan, John Cena and John Laurinaitis. And it is the Bella Busters that pick up their first win when Laurinaitis, of all people, defeated Toni Storm by submission. Daniel Bryan being head and shoulders above the rest and John Laurinaitis being the weak link. Toni Storm getting an in-ring performance of 37, Millie McKenzie a 33 and Killer Kelly a 31. Laurinaitis getting a 14, Cena a 44 and Bryan a 54. Killer Kelly improving her performance skills as well, as the Bella Busters pick up their first win and the Scary and the Men team their first loss. In the next match, we have the Elite versus Team Japan, and it is Team Japan Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kota Ibushi and Naoki Tanizaki who do defeat Kenny Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson, when Tanahashi defeats Nick Jackson by pinfall with a frog splash. So the Elite now 0-2. Nick Jackson getting a 44, Matt Jackson a 43 and Kenny Omega a 56. Naoki Tanizaki a 35, Kota Ibushi a 54 and Tanahashi a 46. And I believe that 56 from Omega is the highest rating in the tournament so far. No work improvements in that one, but a 52D plus is a good match for what we've had so far. Next up, we have another good match where in a match between Vengeance and Team when TNA was good, it is Vengeance, Jimmy Havoc, Mark Haskins and Morgan Webster that defeat AJ Styles, Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe, when Jimmy Havoc defeats AJ Styles by pinfall with a Death Valley driver. So Webster had a 31, Haskins a 44 and Havoc a 38, where Samoa Joe and AJ Styles had 54s and Bobby Roode a 49. Haskins improving in his technical skills, and again another very good match with that 51D+. Following that, we had the Canadian Best Friends versus Team CTW, and it is the Best Friends Jericho, Owens and Zayn who defeat Leo Rossi, Red Eagle and Symbiote in 15 minutes 25, when Owens defeats Red Eagle by pinfall with a package pile driver. Sami Zayn getting a 51 in-ring performance, Owens and Jericho getting a 47, and then Symbiote at 27, Red Eagle at 29 and Leo Rossi at 26. A lot of improvements in this one though. Sami Zayn improving his performance, Leo Rossi improving his performance, Symbiote improving his rumble skills, and Red Eagle improving both rumble and flying. After that, Team NXT faced off against Ally J, and it was Evil, Takahashi and Sanada who defeated Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano and Roderick Strong in 15 minutes 19, when Evil defeated Gargano with the running elbow. Roderick Strong got a 48, Gargano a 47, Black a 42, Takahashi got a 49, Sanada was off his game, got a 36, and Evil got a 34. Sanada improved in his rumble skills though, as that match got a 49D+. After that, Team Scotland defeated #CCK, Galloway, Grado and Dark coming out on top against Brooks, Lykos and Gresham, when Galloway defeated Lycos by pinfall with the Future Shock DDT. Gresham and Brooks both getting 32s, Lycos getting a 43, Grado getting a 30, Galloway a 41, and Noam Dar a 43. Galloway improving his performance, Gresham improving in his performance, and Grado improving in his flying skills, which is a weird one as that match got a 42D. After that, we had Braun versus Suzuki Gun, and it is actually Braun that comes out on top when he defeats Lance Hoyt by pinfall with a big splash. Never seen Braun do one of those, but oh well. Braun getting an in-ring performance of 40, Suzuki a 48, Hoyt a 35, and Davey Boy Smith Jr. a 41. Davey Smith Jr. improving his performance skills, as Braun picking up the win gets a 47D. Next up, in the main event of the night, it is Team Smug Pricks versus The New Day, and it is Big E, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods who defeat Johnny Mundo, Spike Trivet and The Miz in 15 minutes 23 when Kofi Kingston defeated The Miz by pinfall with the Trouble in Paradise. Spike Trivet being the weak link in this match, getting a 23, The Miz getting a 40 and Johnny Mundo getting a 51. Big E getting a 43, Xavier a 44 and Kofi Kingston a 47. Woods improving his performance skills as well, as that match got a 48D+. As we end that show with a show rating of 48D+, with the best match being that Team Japan versus the Elite match. And I will be back with you guys in a second with the updated table and the updated match ratings. Okay, we are back and we have the division tables sorted. We also have the in-ring performances from the previous week, and I've changed my mind slightly. I'm not going to be doing averages because that would have took way too much time to track all that information. So instead, we're just going to have the highest in-ring performances of the previous week and the current week next to each other, so you can compare how people are improving and who's sort of improving quicker than others. But first off, let's look at those division tables. So top of Division 1, we have the White Russians, Space Cakes, What the Rocks Are Cooking and Undisputed Era, both with 2 wins and 0 losses. And at the bottom we have Leaders 2000, The Job Squad, Chaos and Aussie Open and Shut, both with no wins and 2 losses. And in Division 2, slightly different, we have 3 teams that are 2 and 0, one of them being Vengeance and the others being Team Scotland and the Canadian Best Friends. And there are also 3 teams with 0 wins and 2 losses. The Elite, Team NXT and the Smug Pricks. So unfortunately for those 7 teams, you get to have a win, but hopefully they can pick up next week. And you would think the Elite would get a win soon, especially considering Kenny Omega for the 2nd week in a row is the highest rated in-ring performer, this time getting a 56, so a nice improvement of 4 on the previous week. And joining him improving by 4, we have AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton and Kazuchika Okada. Oh, and Tetsuya Naito as well. All of those guys improving by 4, improving their scores up to a 54, as well as Kota Ibushi and Samoa Joe, who have improved from slightly lower scores last week to be on a 54 in-ring performance this week. As you can see, Samoa Joe got a 47 last week. He has moved up from 15th place to 8th. And Kota Ibushi had a 48 last week. He's moved from 10th up to 6th. Just below those guys, we have Christopher Daniels, Seth Rollins, and Andrade Cien Almas, all with 53. Rollins has improved his rating by 3, but his rank has dropped from 4th down to 10th. Daniels is a new inclusion on the list, and Almas has moved from 14th up to 11th. Cesaro then sits on his own in 12th with 52 points, an improvement on his 47 points from last week, but no improvement in his ranking. Johnny Mundo is another new name on the list, alongside Sami Zayn, also a new member on the list. Both of those guys sitting with 51 points. And then below them we have Hiromu Takahashi, who I've spelled his name wrong. Hiromu Takahashi is on 49 points, as is Bobby Roode who has dropped down from 9th to 16th. So you look at this list, and a lot of these people are guys you would expect to be at the top of the in-ring performances. People like Omega, Styles, Bryan, Okada, and Naito, all guys that are well known for being great in-ring performers and being very good wrestlers. Biggest surprise for me so far has probably been actually Bobby Roode up there. In a lot of sort of saves that I've done with other companies and stuff, Bobby Roode doesn't seem to do as well in ring as a lot of other people, mainly because of his style. He's quite a sort of, not a boring style, but very simple, not much flashiness. He doesn't seem to rake in the performances. But I guess he is very similar to Randy Orton in that respect, and Orton always does well, mainly because of his star power and stuff like that. But we take a look at the tables. There are some shocks still up here. The fact that I don't think anyone would have expected the three sort of thrown together teams of the White Russians, Space Cakes, and What the Rocks Are Cooking to be both 2-0. And I don't think anybody would have expected the Elite to be 0-2 after 2 weeks, especially with one of their losses coming to Team CTW. But there is still a long way to go. There are still 13 weeks left in this tournament, and there is definitely time for these tables to change. Yet again, leave a comment down below who you think will win the entire tournament and who you think will have the best in-ring performances. It's looking like Kenny Omega is a good shout to begin with, but maybe some of the other guys will start to catch up to him as he starts to sort of peak in popularity at some point. A couple of dark horses in here may be the likes of Samoa Joe, Cesaro, and Zayn, and we'll have to see if Bobby Roode can keep himself on the table next week, as he is currently in trouble of dropping out, just like Kevin Owens did last week. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys very soon for episode 3.